Okay. Um, this is Fiesta Guy. And I don't know, for some reason, I mean, it says DTF, and I was going to change it to W2EF, as in, what the fudge or something. Okay, so anyway, the theme is, it's like Mexican Fiesta Day. Let's drink a lot of beer. And I've got my Mexican baseball hat on. WTF. Um, let's consider Mr. Let's call him Edgar. Mr. Edgar is really playing havoc with me today. Mr. Edgar is following the path of Uncle Rumpelstiltskin, who came to visit with me quite a long time ago. More than, it's been years since I've had these welcome people come into my life. Mr. Edgar looked at the file of Mr. Uncle Rumpelstiltskin and decided that he was going to pick and choose highlights of Mr. Rumpelstiltskin's visit with me and revisit them on me. These visits with Mr. Edgar are Mr. Edgar can get under your skin. He can get into your mind. Mr. Edgar is would you call that a ghost, a spirit? Let's go with the spirit, a highly evil spirit. Mr. Edgar can get into your Akashic records and look to see everything that you've ever done in your whole life. And he has the free availability to, pull up memories from your Akashic record about anything at all, but, he likes to drag the past up. And continuously, I talk about once you've dealt with your past and you've dealt with your trauma, you don't need to go back. But Mr. Edgar is a demonic evil spirit, and Mr. Edgar does it and throws it back at me, so I can't move along. What is the point of it? The whole point of it is the metaphysics of people all over the internet is totally wrong. It is always, always, always wrong because it doesn't explain my situation at all. It doesn't explain. The only one that explains it at all, it was Dr. David R. Hawkins, the spiritual teacher from Sedona, who said that the lower astral beings, those are the highly negative beings who are put in their own space in the lower astral, will attack people who are in pursuit of higher consciousness. And that is basically the kind of being Edgar is, and Mr. Rumpelstiltskin, Uncle Rumpelstiltskin, can't say what he's like now, but what he was when he came to visit me. So, the idea that you vibrationally attract what you want, you have to throw that out the window as garbage. Because, if you're saying, well, I'm raising my vibration because I'm letting go, well, guess who has been letting go for an awful long time? Let's see, you're going to do whatever you're going to do anything of a vibrational match. It don't work because it draws in the lower astral beings. So it's not vibrational. How could it be vibrational? If you're vibrating at 540 unconditional love and something that's vibrating below 200, you're not a vibrational match, and yet they're in your life. So this vibrational match metaphysics, it don't work. It don't mean shit. It's garbage. Sure, you can raise your vibration if you want to call vibration going to higher consciousness. But is it going to protect you from these lower astral beings? No, it doesn't. And why is it that lower astral beings have got siddhis, siddhi, spiritual powers? In other words, abilities to get into your mind and get into your body and move your body uncontrollably. These lower astral beings can do it. Now, theoretically, the siddhis don't come on until you get up above the 500 level of consciousness. And these beings are under 200. So why is it that they've got it? Well, some people say perhaps they've somehow stolen some technology that can affect the human body. It still doesn't explain how that they get into your Akashic records. But, I'm no expert in the lower astral. Maybe I am now. And I will tell you, beings in lower astral, unlike humans, do have access to the human Akashic records. Can they change them and adapt to them? I don't know what their powers are other than they can fully access them and they can send them to you. You see how I'm itching my nose? Now, you might see a lot of people in your day-to-day. I've noticed even Aaron Dowdy on his video uncontrollably having to reach for his nose, which is, itching. Stuart Wilde talked about this. The metaphysical teacher Stuart Wilde talked about this. He said, he called it like UFOs, which were lower astral beastie beings. Invisible to you, but these beastie beings are stinging you. The lower astral, if you see people constantly scratching themselves, because they're feeling things itchy or pains and aches, it's all coming from the lower astral beings. So who are the enemies of humanity? The lower astral. The lower astral, and how many people ever heard of the lower astral when they were in high school? Nobody. If you went to church, you'd hear about the devil, Satan, and Lucifer, and the demons. So what they call it those are all lower astral. Okay, so if you're trying to figure it out, Satan, Lucifer, the devils, the demons, are all lower astral. Where else do you want to go with this? So anyway, anytime you see people doing this, scratching at themselves, or, they're just suffering from, out of the blue, an uncontrollable pain. They feel a burning sensation on the bottom of their feet that they're blaming on diabetes. It's not diabetes. It is lower astral beastie beings, demonic beings that are attacking you, and they're invisible. How they do it, I don't understand. I don't know. I have no way of really figuring it out. All I can tell you is Dr. Hawkins said that they affect us here on planet Earth. They're very intelligent about doing what they do because they are thousands of years old. Very, very old beings, and they have their ingrained patterns of how to torment humans. They also torment dogs, cats, trees. Anything that you see diseased on planet Earth is due to lower astral demonic activity. People that say that, there's DNA damage or whatever. If there is DNA damage, you can blame the lower astral. Is it karmic? No. It's not karmic. It is lower astral. These are intelligent beings who on purpose play the role of the demonic. Are they acting at it? I can't tell you. They're very good at sometimes pretending to be not lower astral. So you have to be very careful. They're just like humans. Some humans just seem normal for such a long time until you get married to them and then on your honeymoon. Where did this demonic thing come from? I married a demon. So, but that's what they're like. They're very two-faced, and they cause all the disease, one way or another. And as far as humans, if you are afflicted by any disease, it's always due to demonic activity. Is it due to your past life karma? There are some stories that some of these beings that were in hell worlds maybe did some spiritual work or something. They got some kind of a pass in order to incarnate on planet Earth. And currently on the news, there's a case of two teenage men running around Western Canada killing people on deserted roads. These two were from a demonic world, and someone gave them a pass to come to incarnate on planet Earth. And they brought their demonic nature with them. So to look at them, you would say, well, they're, rather handsome young men. They don't look evil. That's the biggest problem. The biggest problem on planet Earth is quite often these demonic beings can look like good-looking people. So never judge a book by its cover. And sometimes people who, physically don't look very pretty are beautiful souls. So that's one of the first lessons you learn in planet Earth is don't judge people based on their looks. Someone last week said, yes, you're pretty. We can see you're pretty on the outside. But in order to be beautiful, you have to have a beautiful soul. And, if you can put pretty and beautiful soul together, well, then you've been doubly blessed or something. But, to have a beautiful soul, is it a blessing? It's a blessing to others. But I would say to have a beautiful soul, you did the work yourself. If not on this life, then certainly in past lives, you really worked hard to be a kind, gentle creature. So anyway, that's the whole point of it is, in addition to these demonics who are incarnating as humans, we have got non-physical demonic beings in the lower astral, which is basically another dimension, who have got access to us. And they know everything about you, as I said, so I'm kind of repeating myself. So, if you went to a fortune teller and you were really amazed because they knew things about your life, these demonic beings know about your past life. So don't think that just because someone can tell you what happened to you when you were 6 years old and you remember it that way, that these people are somehow... Be very, very wary of people who can tell you things about your past that a normal human being couldn't know. Don't assume they're Jesus. I think it's safer to assume they're demonic because they've got help from other dimensions. So be very wary of fortune tellers. Don't think they're highly spiritually evolved. It's quite likely they're demonic, and their demonic friends from the lower astral are using them to get at you. Do you need a fortune telling? You don't need anything on this planet. I mean, we've got so much time on our hands, we like to explore things. Does playing with the Ouija board open your door to demonic? Could be. Are you going to do it? Probably. We don't know truth from falsehood. And that's part of the human condition. And warning you about it makes that Ouija board a forbidden fruit, so you're even more likely to go do it. That's why so many people get involved in so many dangerous things, Anyway, that's my whole point, is the lower astral, the demonic. I talk about it a lot because if you're drinking a lot of booze, you're inviting the lower astral to come in and possess you, because everyone knows that when you're all drunk on booze, quite often you turn into a complete idiot, and you get into fights and you cause all kinds of people to hate you. Should you drink beer? It's a forbidden fruit.